It's Valentine's season. It's a season of love, and we have a very special package for you today. We're going to be discussing something very interesting today: pornography and the Christian couples. Christian couple like me, both the intending couples and the married couples. Yes, trust me, I'm not going to do this alone. I have a special guest in the house today. I'm going to introduce them shortly. But first of all, I want to appreciate all those that are subscribed to my YouTube channel. I thank you so very much. I'm praying for you, and I believe God is going to grant you the desires of your heart. And for those that have not subscribed yet, please do well to subscribe. I bet you're going to have some very inspiring messages and content coming your way every day. Note. So without much ado, I'd like to introduce somebody very important. It's a wonderful couple you've been blessing, and over time, I want to introduce them to you. Okay, sir, can we know you are from? Can we know you, please?
Thank you. I'm Azuka Osad, the lead pastor of Arms of Light Ministry.
Okay, Hams of
Lights of Light
Ministry. Okay, well, is Mama Curry. I'm Helen Oside, the wife of my pastor, also Sakar Oside. No, I like that description. My pastor. Wow, that sounds so sweet. Okay, so how long have you been married? Well, it's been married for about 30 years. But what 30 years, but in November, say, night, 14 years in married. November 9th this year. Wow, wow. 4 nations in advance. Okay, now, so we're going to go straight to what we are discussing today. We're looking at pornography and the Christian couple, the intending couples, and the married couple. You know, there's this mindset that pornography is not harmless. And it's more like with guys, she gets someone's desires, not to get the extra marital affairs. Please, what's your take on this?
Um, Although there are many things out there that you will say is not harmful, but that does not really give you the right to get into them. For instance, um, taking some of these drugs is good for your body, but there is something also that is called side effect. Like when you begin to take the drugs and after some time, you begin to see that there are side effects. And apart from medicine, we might not go into that because that's not what we're looking at. Now, yes, it may not be harmful to you, as you have said, but you know, the thing about life is that you want to be careful what you call harmful or what might bring harm to you. Because you've seen some people who have crossed the road, all of a sudden they were hit by a vehicle. They never saw it coming and they lose their life. Sometimes it's not because the road is bad. The road is good. There are instructions to guide you when you're crossing, when you're negotiating the road. But at the same time, the road is harmful, but it's just like that. So when we look at the subject of pornography, for instance, yes, you may think it's not, but it is.
How? I want to know. Because people are, they try to rest on this angle for so many reasons. Okay. Which we want us to, I want you to also elaborate on those reasons that makes people indulge with this exercise.
Okay. First of all, I'm a pastor, so most of the things I'm going to be saying might, and I think some of my inspiration from the scripture, probably from other sources. Now, when you look at the Greek word pornography, it means to write and to see, to record and to see. Now, and also if you look at the other side of it, is to create a kind of pleasure. But that pleasure doesn't last because there is something that we must understand about sex itself. Because the end point, when everybody's engaged with that, is to be able to have one form of stimulation or another. I was talking about something that has to do with recording and
Yes.
seeing, like prostitution. So pornography in the Greek means to write and to prostitute. To write and to, let's not forget that. That's where we're coming from. To write and to prostitute. That's the Greek word when you put them together. Now, why? Why writing? Why recording? Why? We want to ask yourself, why does it have to do with recording? Why does it have to do with writing? The reason is very simple. because man is created to see. When we talk about my wife, for instance, a woman does not have problem with sight. The woman has so much to do with touch. The moment I begin to touch a woman, she responds. But for a man, man is moved basically by what he sees. And this is not an accident. I can tell you because in Genesis, you see that from the beginning where man began to miss his step, you see that it has everything to do with sight. God created the tree. Let's take note of this. God created the tree and he calls it what? The tree of knowledge, good and evil. The tree is one tree. But it's a tree. The tree has the ability to cause good, it has the ability to cause evil. All right. So, but it's the knowledge, not just the tree itself, but something that comes out of the tree that makes it different. But do you know how this woman fell for that? She didn't fail because she ate the tree. She fell because of sight. So whoever is creating pictures, exposing you to some of these pictures, videos, this visual content and all that, they are not ignorant of what they are trying to do because they want you to see something and get into your soul. At the end of the day, you begin to look for a way to express yourself. So this is intentional. We must understand this is intentional. I'm just trying to see an holistic aspect or an holistic view of this word pornography. So let's not forget where we're coming from. To write, to record. All right, to write, to record. To write, to record, to see. Okay, that brings me to something very powerful. When you look at Genesis, I'm just going to go an aura, like holistically, before we begin to talk out bit by bit and pick them out of the pocket. Now, to write and to record, I said that that's a Greek word for pornography. Then, if you look at Genesis chapter 1 and chapter 2 and chapter 3, it sums up everything that transpires between a man and a woman. Let's go. Uh, God created a man and a woman, and when Adam woke up from his dream or whatever state of consciousness that he was, when he came out, the Bible says, and Adam knew his wife. The word he knew in the Hebrew means yada. It means to ascertain by seeing. One, it's very powerful.
Wow.
To ascertain by seeing. So how? Nobody taught him how to have sex, but God has to put something in him called signs. So when he saw the woman, he knew what to do. So you see that we do not really need to look at all, the video, look at this, YouTube, have some stuff going into our mind for us to be creative. And when you begin to look at that word to new, it means to teach. So there is something that Adam did to his wife. They were creative. They understood this. So the whole thing about pornography has to do with sight. Sight.
Very well then. You have just said something very, very, very important. At least we have an understanding of what it is. We can have the Bible now.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the unrealistic. Anything that is unrealistic is unnatural.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have left the natural to unnatural, and that has affected. I wanted to direct it now to what is happening in our present relationships now, marriages, where a husband or a wife indulges in it, and it's affecting the bonding they both share. So what can you say? Can you throw a little light on it?
Yes, like I said before, when you expose yourself to pornography, it's damaging. I'm not that kind of person that I thought if you look at the research that a lot of people have done and this subject, you see that there is something that supposed to stand out. A lot of people who are hooked up to pornography, they started very early. It was an addiction. It was an addiction. Like for me, I never knew what it was. I'm like, no, they were growing up, this black and white TV. I will never forget that day in my life. I left my parents' house and just a neighbor. And over those days, they used to, you can receive somebody's channel from your own house. Like you can be watching what somebody's watching just by tuning those television. There's a way they built it there. So we're just flipping, and I saw the thing just came out. My mom, they were in the parlor. We're just having all our simplets there, and it pops up. And the man was just busy. The woman was naked, and that was it. I'm like, I was just in my mind then, wait. But you know that thing registered in my mind. It just stayed there. It stopped. All right. So you're saying something about unrealistic, and the truth is this: when you are exposed to pornography, this is what it would be. Definitely is going to cause a kind of emotional separation. It will cause you a lot of damage in your marriage because you will begin to have unhealthy expectation from the spouse.
Wow. So we actually, people actually create problems and said another
Yes.
way. For there are cases where we're looking at the fact that level of things leads to this. Take for instance, where a couple is married and the husband is spiral back.
Good.
So how can that be managed? Okay, take for instance, we have what we call dildos, vibrators. Women now indulge in that. I want mama to also throw a little light on that. Their husband is not around, then we. And for such situation, how can a woman manage that kind of situation? When she wants physical relation with her husband, right? And the husband is not
So we need to my husband. Also, I would do justice to that. Was there's something I want to say concerning that pornography and all that. There's a pastor friend of ours they with universities all married to dissolute, and the lady she was a virgin. So sex was not interested to her at all. She doesn't want to be it. And this lie wants instead wanted this. So before he knew it, they had asked to introduce this porn. And they started watching it. And you know it. Okay, they watched that there, that's 13 years. It was too. So her in the house that feel because the woman was then he doesn't want to late, but she's not this to it. So what do I do to make this man I can't go out? He also introduced this. And they started watching it. It became a conflict. This law was for kid this land. Because of what she was saying. The walls those days. I'm playing each tried again that for 2 years, 3 years, we have 3 children. And before you know it, about 5 years, you have like 4 kids. It became a problem for the man. And the man, when he is people not ready for that, we are with call those about the house work. True, is not really good. It's not healthy. And especially when the man is healthy for the man. When you are no longer there, the man goes to work. I know he has watched a lot. You know men, the ones that are not born again. The believers, yes, yes. So on the outside, yes, they do it. We do it. But by the help of the Holy Spirit, we can be able to, you wash it once and Lord, I'm sorry. But for the other man that is not say bad day, by the time Madam is not around, he took to the channel. I begin to watch it. And when he remembers those days he has watched, it kind of, Madam is like, let me just continue. So if I've exposed the husband, it's like a wife that encourages that. Because you want to get more, deeper here at the comes to that. Yes, you understand? The other those families and the hobby of husbands. And if you're not careful, if your husband needs a single lad that is really good like that one and is still on the telly, they are gone. Okay, I'm gonna call back to you shortly before we handle. Because I want to look at, okay, how can a woman now help the man that's is into is so addicted to it. But that's by the way, not we addressed the directed a pastor to talk about the issue of the dildos, the vibrator for the women. Just to help the situation, I don't want to cheat. I want to stay in this marriage without cheating. Is it cheating to that?
We won't call that cheating, but I usually counsel people. I don't advocate a disturbed relationship. Have a contract marriage while you're in UK. You're entitled to your opinion, but I'm not condemning those who are doing it because there are other factors, maybe work and all that. But I don't think couples should live fine on each other.
But you want to set up
So
that?
yes, circumstances, yes, might get them there. But I think as a man, you need to quickly do everything to make sure the family gets together. Because, see, let's not. I'm a pastor, but you also don't want to be too religious about some things. That is what is destroying Christian man. The things we're supposed to be doing based on knowledge and wisdom, we tend to push it to the spirit. We begin to pray. Come on. Sex is a drive that was created by God Himself. So the moment you begin to say, okay, I'm going to hustle, I'm going somewhere to make things happen. I'm also trying to see how the family can get together. Let us be factual. Let's come to reality. He's a man.
And so far as well, remain there. When they find something very interesting,
Yes.
and they're having themselves there, and they're away from their wives, they just remain there in the guise of I'm working.
My wife asked me a question, say, can you travel and leave me? I said, no. If I travel and leave you, shouldn't not be more than 1 year. You are coming anywhere I am, you're coming to meet me there. I will work hard to make sure that you're with me. Because I don't want to say anybody is fallible. Why are we making this thing look as if you can't fall? This is why, man, the Spirit of God told me, sorry, I know a lot of people are viewing, some people might not be Christians and all that, but the Lord told me something one day. He says, some pinch yourself, just try and poke yourself, do something to yourself that will create a shilling. And I did. He said, did you feel pain? I said, yes. Always remember that you are a man. Don't lose sight of that. Because the moment you begin to lose sight of that, there are other things that is obtainable in this world that you will begin to neglect. Take, for instance, you look for money, and by the time you start working for money, you lose a family. You as a man, you should be able to balance it. Now, let's go back to vibrator. Yes, the truth is this. I will not say I'm going to condemn people who are doing it, but I don't think I should be able to settle for something that is artificial when I can make do with the real thing. But here we are looking at circumstances. Because we don't want to justify that your husband is here and you say you need vibrator or whatever to be able to help yourself. Come on. That is way off the thing we are discussing. We're talking about a situation where you don't have any choice. But I can bet and I can tell you, a woman who is really godly doesn't really, that sexual thing is not too much for a woman. It's more on the man, sincerely, because the woman needs to be stimulated to get into that. But because of this, it boils down to what we have been watching lately. You know, a woman having sex with a woman. I'm not here to talk about.
So what you watch,
Yes, it's very important. Let me digress a bit. Let me digress a little bit. You know, what people don't understand is that sight is powerful. This brings us back to this thing we're talking about.
Yes.
Knowledge is very powerful. All right? The knowledge that you have about a pain is very powerful. Now, how do you know that there is something called vibrator? If somebody has not taught you,
Of course.
how would you even have an understanding of, try to help yourself if somebody has not taught you? So it boils down to what you have been listening to, what you have settled down to assimilate. And the Bible currently says something about that as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So this thing is about a desire that is created by sight.
Wow.
It's just a desire that is created by sight. And every desire must seek a vent for expression.
So, yes, well, that's a very powerful one. Yes, and when Mama was talking, she talked about the issue of I'm trying to bring that in something she said about okay, now with you couples encouraging it. Okay, if they're doing it as a couple, like the husband introduced her, introduced the woman, right?
Yeah.
The instance she gave, introduced the wife to pornography, because he wanted to help her enhance her sexual prowess and all that. So, what's your take about couples that don't you as a couple
Together.
to learn, to know better?
Somebody asked me, this is a tough question because the way I was like, this guy was needed, this guy not pastor, who is this guy? No, but this is the truth. Somebody asked me a question some years back. It's a lady. She chatted me over. She was like, hey, my husband is demanding oral sex. What did you say, pastor? I said, give it to him. He said, that irritates her. I'm like, you are not serious. These are body parts. Well, he was like, no, I can't do. I said, because when it comes to, I'm not going to really tell people what to do. Like I said, when Adam saw it, nobody taught him what to do. So when it comes to sex, you are creating. Like I said,
creative viewers here that when it comes to sex, you are creative. This is quite an inspiring section of time. We look forward to seeing more of this. And for those of you that will subscribe to my channel, please kindly subscribe. It's not right in my heart, trust me. And we're praying for you. Or for those that have subscribed, we are actually praying for you too. Well, defeat you, meet you at the point of the end. Thank you so much for listening. Select to hear from you, what to say your opinion. Feel free to drop your comments in the comment section, and we'll definitely get back to you. And if you want to see more of Pastor, of course, you can have it come to you and bless us and inspire us every day. And I want to say thank you. Don't forget to also subscribe, like, share, comment, and possibly criticize. It's acceptable. It's acceptable. Thank you very much. Till I copy you next time. Bye.